We're on. Hi, guys. My name's Nikki Ogunnaike. I am Glamour Magazine's online style editor, and welcome to our first Google Hangout. Um, hi, say guys. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Um,
Hi.
Today we have with us the stars of our YouTube series, Elevator Makeover, Jessica Harlow and Theodore Leaf. You can see them right there.
Hi, everybody.
Say
Hey
hi.
everyone.
So today we're going to be talking spring makeup and hair trends, ways to refresh your hair for the new season, your hair and makeup for the new season. Theodore, let's go to you first. What are some ways you think a woman can zhuzh up her look for this new season?
Well, obviously it's time for the snow to melt. It's time to get rid of hat hair. It's time to move on, try something new. I think we've obviously been seeing the braid trend forever and a day, but people love it because it's so incredibly recreatable. And it's been so fun to watch all of the different braids sort of coming out season after season. You know, we started with the side braid, and now we've gone into like these elaborate updos. And what I'm really loving right now is playing with the idea of just your basic French braid and changing it up, trying something new with that trend. I love this one. I actually found from the spring runways. It's so cute because basically
Beautiful.
you're taking that tail of the braid and just sort of tucking it up into the style into this really cute swirl. And
So
if you
cool.
know how to French braid, you can recreate something like this really easily. And it's just been so cool to watch, like since tutorials and all these makeover shows and all these things that are out there, so many girls are really trying things themselves and they're looking better on the streets.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
true.
And so we have some products that the girls in the Glamour beauty department here are really loving to sort of recreate at least, that one look. And so we're using Oscar Blondie dry shampoo right here. And Theodore, can you give us a little tip on how you would use this dry shampoo in your hair?
Well, I have this other style that's really cool too, that's kind of textured,
Mm-hmm.
this look. And dry shampoo as a product is fabulous for just creating that texture and opening up the hair. So many products really compress the hair and make it small, whereas dry shampoo sort of soaks up that oil. And when you don't have the oil, you really expand the hair shaft, and it just changes the texture to where you can really play with it. And then when you tuck it into something like this, it's fuller, it's more soft looking, it doesn't feel too sticky. It's not sticky or it's not a product that's like a hairspray. I think people
Mm-hmm.
get really confused with dry shampoo because most dry shampoos are aerosol and many hairsprays are aerosol. And so they think they're the same, but they're completely different products for different things. But dry shampoo is an essential tool for looks like this that are really textured and cool. But beware, dry shampoo is not hairspray.
So how much do you think a woman should apply when she's trying to do her hair, use dry shampoo?
I think when I see people use dry shampoo, they definitely use too little and they
Mm-hmm.
use it in the wrong spot. I like dry shampoo right at the roots, mid shaft, roots to mid shaft, and basically if it turns kind of like white, it's soaking up the oil and then that color goes away. People kind of freak out once they see that. They're like, "Oh my gosh, my hair is destroyed." And it's
That's what I
totally
thought.
I know.
right, right, Jessica?
Yeah.
We talked about it on the show because we had a lot of backstage time to kind of like get to know each other, and I was like, "Girl, you got to put it in your roots."
Yeah, I was just like, but it turns white. What do I do?
Yeah.
I was like, "You brush it out," and she was like, "Oh."
That's simple.
Uh,
I was getting plenty of makeup tips from you too, honey, though, so it's all good.
And so, Theodore, what's the third hairstyle that you're loving?
I am really loving. Here it is. These over exaggerated deep side parts. And but the thing is this looks really chic on the runway, and it's great when you have like expert hairstylists throwing that together. But you at home, like, how do you do that? Another really great trend that I'm loving is for years hairstylists have been trying to hide bobby pins, right?
Mhm.
Now bobby pins have sort of come front and center, and you can use them as an accessory that you see. They obviously just have to be cool bobby pins.
Yeah,
But because of that deep side part, you need something to hold it. Otherwise, you're just gonna like run into people.
Yeah, and the girls here at Glamour are really loving these bobby pins right now. They're sort of slightly oversized. They're by a brand called Rubbers, and they're actually pretty cheap, and I'm sure you can get them at, any drugstore. But they're sort of that large size, as you were saying, and they're really great, and you can just tuck them in on the side, and they're worth being seen.
Absolutely. I am a freak about bobby pins. I'm very particular, very, very particular about bobby pins, and those look really cool.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
Theodore had this whole entire case where he has everything so neatly organized. There's like every kind of bobby pin you can imagine.
I'm a bobby pin hoarder. It's okay.
and so to get that hairstyle you were talking about, what sort of products should a woman use?
Something like this, you're going to want to actually add a shine product to really tame the flyaways and get that sleekness. That's really going to be your best bet for something like this versus the other thing is sort of like drier and textured. This is more of like a sleeker look.
Cool, cool. And where do you think girls should, wear these new hairstyles that you've given them?
Well, I mean, I think the braid could totally be worn to many, many work environments. I think that something like this deep side part is great with like a little LBD, night on the town, just feature a really chic earring and you're good to go.
Yeah.
This other updo, I think you could even wear to, a formal event or a wedding or, just even like a fabulous spring cocktail party or something like that. I just love these texturized hairstyles. And what I mean by texturized is that light, airy feeling. I
hmm
just love it because it just looks so effortless and so pretty, but it's not just another ponytail or something.
Right, exactly. It's a little more fun. Jessica, are you into the braids and these new hairstyles? Have you been giving them a try?
No,
No.
not
What,
really.
what hairstyles have
'Cause,
you been wearing?
I don't know. I'm just not very good with braids. I feel like if Theodore does it, it comes out right. If I do it myself, it doesn't come out the same way. But I mean, for me, straightening my hair is like a new thing. I just threw my hair up in a regular ponytail, your ordinary ponytail today, because I was just like, I don't have time.
But when you do, you go for a more straight and sleek style.
I do. I mean, I used to always curl it and, just create waves all the time. And it just, it's gotten me bored because I've been doing that all the time. I'm like, I look the same. So for now, for me, straightening is a lot more fun for me. Ah, I drop stuff.
So Jessica, tell us a little bit about some spring beauty tips you think that our readers at home, our followers, can use this season.
Well, for me, because I feel like everybody just goes with a nude lip. I think that's just the go-to for every girl because it's easy. You don't have to think about it too much. But I think if you're going to do a nude lip, you have to go in and do so much eyeshadow and stuff to kind of like make yourself look alive, especially if you're going out at night. And for me, what I think is really, really simple, and you can wear this day or night, is just throw on a cute lipstick, something that's bright and colorful. It just really wakes up the face, and you don't have to worry about, eyeshadows and eyeliners and things like that. You could just keep things really, really simple. I've been loving these L'Oreal, they're Color Riche lipsticks. I got them over the weekend. I bought a couple of colors here. Um, they're awesome. They go on like butter,
Uh-huh.
basically. They're so hydrating. They're perfect for spring and summer. This one is one of my favorites. I'm wearing it right now. It's blushing sequin. It looks a little bit more pink on camera, but in person, it's got a little bit more of a coral tint to it, which is it's just beautiful. Other colors here, there's like these nice kind of like corally oranges and bright pinks. I'm really loving bright pink lipstick right now. I just think it's so much fun. And again, when you have a nice texture like these, it just doesn't feel like you're wearing so much lipstick. Like it's not drying or anything. Kind of feels like a chapstick for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. We agree with you here. The girls in the beauty department are really loving NARS satin lip pencils this season.
Mhm.
They just came out for spring and they're super easy to apply. This color is called You, and it's super light pink, and I'm loving it. And then I'm wearing Luxembourg today, and it's like a darker sort of pink. So, if you have like if you're slightly darker skin, then this color would be really cool for you too.
Yeah.
we actually have a reader question for you, Jessica.
Okay.
Reader wants to know what eye makeup should you wear when you're also wearing a bright lip.
When you're also wearing a bright lip. If you're wearing a bright lip, I mean, I've seen you can manage to wear some really extreme kind of eye makeup too, but I think it's all about confidence, really. I mean, I'm not the type of person who really goes too much by rules because I think there's always exceptions. But for the most part, if you have a really bright lip on, you could just do a really simple eye and get away with it, like maybe like a little bit of eyeliner if you want. But for me, lashes are I can't. I mean, people say, oh, lashes are for night. I'm like, no, 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 no. Lashes are for all the damn time.
Oh my God.
I actually have these. These are like half
I
lashes.
agree.
They're really what?
I
Theodore
agree.
agrees.
Yeah, right. So these are half lashes. They're really, really easy to apply. I kind of like these even for a day, just because again they're quick. They're a lot faster to put on than like a full strip, but sometimes I feel like these are really expensive for no reason. I feel like sometimes they're more expensive than the full lashes, which makes, again, no sense to me because you're getting less. So what I like to do is sometimes I'll just buy a regular set of false lashes and just kind of cut like the outer third of it towards the longer end. So that way you just pop it onto the ends of the lashes and it just gives you a little bit more to work with.
Yeah. And so what are your tips for applying falsies? Because when I put them on, one's sticking over here and then the other one's over there, and they come out terribly. But you're the beauty pro, so tell us, how do you think you should apply them?
Well, number one, practice makes perfect with anything you're trying to do. But what helps with me is whenever you're putting them on, kind of maybe do like a hand mirror or set your mirror up where you're looking down into it so you can kind of really see your lash line a lot better. And then you can just place it a lot closer. Once you get it placed there, and also make sure your lash glue is tacky. That's like the number one thing. Like, I'm very, very impatient, but it just you end up making more of a mess. Don't you notice you make more of a mess when you're impatient?
Oh, I look crazy.
Rather than when you wait something out a little bit.
Yeah.
Just wait for the lash glue to get tacky, then go ahead, apply them. Looking down really helps. You can see your lash line a lot better. And then also, once you've got them on, kind of like put your finger and your two fingers, like your thumb, on your own lashes and then your finger behind the fake ones. Just kind of like squeeze it together. It kind of helps to push them just close enough to your actual lashes where it kind of makes them look more realistic, and they'll also come out a lot more even that way.
Perfect. Thanks for that. So what else are you loving?
That's what I'm here for.
I know. What else are you
loving? Always talk about beauty, so.
I know, definitely. So what else are you loving for spring?
Well, here's the thing. Because during Fashion Week, I noticed that a lot of people were saying, oh, now matte skin is really in, which I love matte skin. But again, that was for fall, so maybe that's a little bit different. I don't know. I don't really follow trends. I just go with what I like. And what I like is I always like a little bit of a highlight going on the tops of the cheeks. I just think it looks really fresh, especially during spring. I think it looks fresh all year round. I love matte skin, but I feel like it just looks very makeup-y a lot of the times. So I just like to go with some kind of like a highlighter. You can even use like a shimmery eyeshadow. It really doesn't matter. But this one is MAC's Soft and Gentle. It's just really, really pretty. You use just like a little bit, tops of the cheekbones, and you get a really nice glow. I don't know if you might be able to see it here. I have no idea. But I would apply it with a brush, not with your fingers. You can, but I would definitely recommend a brush. It'll give you a better finish. But anything that just kind of like wakes up and livens the face, you want to go for something that's fresh. And again, just keep things simple. Like, I wouldn't recommend doing everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
You can. Who am I to tell you? But, just
But
make
would
the most
you
of
do
it.
that
Whatever you
personally?
like, work it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so anti-trend. I'm just like, wear what you like, wear what you feel looks best on you, what do you get the most compliments on, and just work with that.
So I showed this to you a little bit ago, but the girls in the beauty department here brought by this Maybelline Dream Lumi. It's a highlighter concealer. How do you feel about these products? You said they were good for fall.
Well, I think those are great for if you have oilier skin. I think it's better for you to actually drier skin, excuse me. But it just depends. I find like if you use something that's creamy, it's going to appear a lot more, it'll make more of an impact,
Okay.
which isn't bad. Sometimes I'll use like a cream highlight and then I'll go ahead and set it all with an actual highlighting powder. But I mean, it just depends. Play around with things, but I feel like a cream could give you more of a dewy finish. It's great if you have drier skin, but if your skin is kind of shinier naturally anywhere, it's gonna get shiny naturally. A powder is probably the better way to go, and it's a little bit more subtle, I think, and easier to work with.
Okay, sounds good. So anything else? I know we talked a little bit earlier about liners. Are you and you're loving those for spring as well?
You know, I used to really not wear eyeliner at all. Like in the past year, I could maybe count the times I've worn eyeliner like 5 times, like besides tutorials and things. But eyeliners are really fun, and this is where I kind of got into it again. Is when I saw Adele at the Oscars this year. When she was performing, she had this. If you notice, there was her eyeliner was glittering. It was black, but it was like a black glitter.
Hmm.
Oh, I died. I just thought that was so beautiful. So ever since then, I've just been so into eyeliners again.
Hmm. What brands or products are you loving? Is there anything specific that you're into?
I'm using a lot of things. I mean, if it's liquid liner, I really love Kat Von D. I love Kat Von D everything practically, but her eyeliner is really great because it has the tip is a felt tip and it's really, really thin, so you can get the most precise lines. I mean, the woman's a tattoo artist, so she's really all about detail and all of that. So I would trust her with eyeliner, and it's great. It's one of my favorites. But as far as cream eyeliners go or gel, I like gel eyeliners because they last a really long time. Sometimes they're easier for people to use and figure out how to use than a liquid liner. But for gels, I find like a lot of them are really good. There's Bobbi Brown, there's MAC, Lorac. I think Maybelline makes one. I haven't tried it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, sounds good. Theodore, we actually have a question for you, just in. We were just talking about Jessica's regular old ponytail, as you so eloquently put it. So our reader wants to know if you guys have any new quick ponytail updates to try, Theodore.
Well, actually, what I love about Jessica's ponytail is she's rocking maybe. Is this like your second day waves, Jessica?
No, this is my waves that I just slept on and didn't really blow dry my hair completely. So we're just working with natural texture, I guess, today.
But what I love about that is it's actually a voluminous ponytail instead of what I call a workout ponytail. That's what I was sort of speaking to, is like that workout ponytail that people are running around
Oh yeah,
with.
that.
Like ponytails are definitely always going to be a part of our lives in hair. And Jessica's actually rocking the trend perfectly because it's sitting in a way that's almost like a fall. Like if you had a bump, it just gives you a little bump and then it's nice and wide. What I love about that is if you look at Jessica's neck with all that dark hair behind her, it frames out her neck and makes her neck look nice and smooth and smaller. Versus if you had a ponytail with no hair, you don't see the neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like if
because of the
we were
wave,
up in like a bun or something like that, you don't really see much of anything going on.
right. And because of the waves, it expands it and it gives what I call side volume. I love side volume. You see the Victoria's Secret models, their hair isn't big like this. It's big like this. And I mean, everybody loves that hair, right?
Yeah.
But the secret is the side volume. So she's giving you side volume on a ponytail. And it's just going to make the earrings pop, the neck looks good, it gives you a nice height if you're petite. So that's a really great way, is to add lots of texture and make it fuller. Like if you're going to do a ponytail, make it a style. I mean, we see ponytails on the runway all the time. It's definitely a legitimate look. But, just a sad, greasy ponytail from working out is nothing to write home about. If it was me and I went to yoga and my hair was all crazy and greasy, I would do a quick 3-strand braid and throw it up into a high top knot. And people would think oh my goodness, you're just so fierce. I'm like, no, I'm just using my natural oils to control this hair and throw it up on top of my head.
Yeah, definitely. So, a lot of girls are sort of just using these random rubber bands and stuff. Is there anything that they can do product wise to zhuzh up their ponytail?
Oh my gosh. Office rubber bands are the enemy of every hairstylist. I will ask for a rubber band sometimes and someone hands me that and I literally flick it back at them. I'm like, absolutely not. Never gonna happen. I go to Sally Beauty Supply for, I would say 90% of every single thing that's an accessory like that in my kit, because they have everything you can imagine. You can buy it all online. But one of my favorite things is those hooks. And it's two. I'm so sorry I don't have one with me, but
I have one actually right here. Is it this one?
Yes.
Look at you, teamwork.
Got it.
I just happen to have one lying here.
And that's why you two are on a show together.
Did you steal that from my kit?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe Beverly did. I don't know.
Beverly. But what I do love about that is people get so confused by those. They're like, what is the purpose? The purpose is once you pull your hair up into a ponytail, if you have to do the whole like crazy wrapping thing with it connected, you mess up the sides. But if you can put your hair up and just go like this and then lock it, you don't move the sides. So then you end up with a really nice clean style, and that's why those are really effective. They've been on the runways since, I mean, before I ever touched hair. They've been around, and they're gaining popularity, and people are understanding how to use them, and they come in, I know they come in at least 3 colors. They come in black, they come in blonde, and they come in like a reddish brown, and they're just indispensable, fabulous accessories. And even on the spring runways, I don't have a photo right now, but I did this, one of the trends, I recreated it, where you pull the hair back really clean, and you actually take the hook on one side and hook it on the other, and it creates a little bend, like a little bump in the back, really on really straight hair. So very versatile tool for ponytails and any kind of upstyling.
Yeah. And so you mentioned Victoria's Secret waves, which, you know, the girls at Glamour are loving, our readers are loving. What are some, you know, quick and easy ways that a girl can achieve those waves at home?
Okay. The number one thing for me is if you have wavy hair, do not blow dry it. Use all that texture, all that fullness that's naturally going on in your hair. And what I do is I'll take a rod iron and redo it. Okay? If you blow the hair out and then you add all the waves, it's going to fall. If you use your natural, even just the slightest bend is going to help you. And basically I just take a rod iron and I'll wrap it away from the face and I'll wrap it toward the face and alternate that pattern all throughout the head.
Okay.
Then when you rake your fingers through, which is incredibly important. Otherwise, you're going to look like you're going to the prom, you know what I'm saying?
I do that prom hair.
Through. I always call that like hiding my work. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like people don't want to look like they necessarily had something done these days, right? And so I don't want to see someone's like iron mark and then they just took it out and then they leave the house. So you got to rake it through. And then you get that expansion, because when you confuse the waves, they expand. If you do them all the same, they're just going to fall smaller, which is fine. That's a look too. But for that Victoria's Secret, full, voluminous, try alternating your pattern, rake your fingers through, and use a little hairspray on the sides. You're good to go.
Good to go. And then, so you mentioned also like second day waves. Is it cool to, you know, sleep on that hair and then wear it the next day?
I will stretch out a look forever. If I was a girl, I would literally like have like a total, meaning if I had like long hair, I would have like a whole plan for the week. Okay, you know, blow dry it on Monday, wear it for 2 days, dry shampoo, then add a couple waves, wear it, and then do a ponytail, and then wash it again. I think that girls are really starting to understand the idea of stretching out a style and stretching out the work. It's like if you've already spent the time to do this, then if you do that, you're just adding to it. You know, it's like if you're cooking, it's like reusing your leftovers. You know, how can I reuse this? And, you know, you just have to look at your hair and say, like, where can I take this? And there's so many tutorials out there. There's so much video. There's so many great things in the magazine of, like, how you can try new things with already sort of styled hair. Yeah. It's really, really important. And it's going to save your hair because in my opinion, your hair is in its weakest state when it is wet. So if you can avoid getting your hair wet because it stretches, it snaps, the elasticity in your hair completely changes when it's wet. So the less time that you can spend with your hair wet doing all that styling, the better.
Sounds good. Jessica, we have a question for you that just came in. Our readers want to know about spring date night looks. What sort of beauty looks do you think gals should rock when they're hitting the town with their man?
Well, I think, you know, I think that men just really don't really like makeup that much. So I would probably say usually, unless your guy's really cool with getting lipstick all over his face, um, don't wear red lipstick.
Yeah.
It's really intimidating and it's really kind of off-putting because nobody wants, well, I don't know if nobody, but most people don't really want to walk around with evidence. So
That's a great way to put it.
yeah, so I mean, natural, simple, not too much craziness. I think save those kinds of things when you're out with the girls,
Hmm.
because they get it and it's just fun. But if you're going out with a guy, I always go with lashes, 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 and keep everything else pretty simple. And you want to look effortless. You want to look like you've tried too hard. You never want to look like you've tried too hard. Don't show your hand like that.
Yeah, totally. Theodore, how about date night hair? What are you thinking?
Date night hair, it depends on how many dates it's been, honey. I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you what, if you're single and looking to mingle, that hair needs to be down. They need to imagine running their fingers through it. It needs to be approachable. If it's 30th date, I think it's really important to show them something new. Keep it fresh. I
ah,
mean, I've been with my man for 5 years, and if I get a haircut or a little highlight or something and show something different, I'm like, oh, you gotta keep it going. You gotta change it up.
yeah.
And it's the same thing with fashion. Like I feel like if I buy a new outfit or a new accessory, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do my hair like this, or I'll wear this sunglasses, or I'll wear something different. And you gotta keep them wondering. You gotta keep people interested, especially if you're dating. It's like you don't want to look the same all the time. Put on some clip-on bangs, like be somebody else for the night. Try something new.
It's
Put on
funny,
a
Kim
wig,
Kardashian does that.
whatever. Huh?
Yeah. I said Kim Kardashian was doing that a bunch on a past episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She'd have like one wig on and then another one, and she loved
Why
it.
not?
Yeah.
Why not? There is no reason. And I think like it's more publicly acceptable right now. If you have short hair, put on a long ponytail, do some fabulous Jessica Harlow eye, and run out the door and just like your man is like, who is that?
Yeah.
And what's fun is if you're really rocking a new look, have him meet you at the bar and he's not gonna know who it is.
Jessica applauds. Yes.
I applaud everything that Theodore says.
I know. Such a genius, Theodore is. I love it.
Oh, I
Jessica,
try,
do
I
you
try.
feel the same way? Makeup wise, spice things up, keep it spicy?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be boring either. But it's always nice, when somebody gets used to people get used to seeing people a certain way, and then when they see a change, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, for me personally, I've noticed with me because I'm always dolled up. Anytime I'm dating someone for a while, they're like, oh, and I'm not all that dolled up, and they're just like, well, this is like a new look, and it's I don't know. They tell me I'm like kind of the opposite of most women because they're like, oh, we'll see them simple, and then when they put on a dress, and me, it's like if I'm in jeans, it's like, who's that girl? So I take that as a huge compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah,
Well,
switch it up and play around with different looks. I mean, that's what being a girl is all about, and just have fun.
yeah, definitely. Have fun. Guys, on that note, I think we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us, Jessica Harlow and Theodore Leaf. You guys were amazing. Absolutely a blast to talk to. For all our fans out there, if you want to see more of this fantastic dynamic duo, make sure you watch Elevator Makeover, Glamour Magazine's new YouTube series on youtube.com/glamourmag and glamour.com/video. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.